So welcome to day 4 of Surrounded, a walk through Psalm 23. So today let's look at verse 3 of Psalm 23. It says, He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Now, if you remember in yesterday's time together, we talked about the importance of rest and how important that rest is to separate what was from what is to be. Our rest is to help restore us. So as this verse starts, it actually says, He restores my soul. And what are we restoring to? I mean, have you ever thought about that? What am I getting restored to? I'm not sure exactly. In my experience, we're restored to a more pure state. You see, our own sin, our own issues, plus living in a fallen world, living with the stress of life, the anxiety, the pressure, it all takes its toll on us, every one of us. God takes us to this place of rest, not just so we can go back into these things that we experience the same as when we entered rest, but our rest restores us to a state that God intended us to be in a more pure state. Think of it as pulling into a gas station, and you not only fill your tank up with gas, but you also empty the trash and get rid of the unnecessary things that are in your car. When you pull out, your tank has been filled, and the clutter, the baggage, the issues have all been left behind. The rest has brought about restoration, and the reason restoration is vital is because God is going to lead us in the paths of righteousness. We aren't restored so we can go back to our normal activity. We aren't restored for more of the same old, same old. We are restored because God has plans for us, and the paths He's taking us on cannot be taken with the gas that this world offers, and the gas that, or even no gas in our tank, and especially with trash in our car. The new path requires a restored soul, a refreshed spirit, a new mindset. The new path requires a full tank of gas, not the kind the world offers, because our cars can't function correctly on the fuel the world offers. This path of righteousness isn't traveled you can't travel it on the world's fuel. It's not traveled by following the ways of this world. Where God is taking you cannot be found on a map. Where God is leading you cannot be imagined in your head. Where God is leading you, no one has ever been before. And no single person alive can tell you exactly where God will lead you. And no single person can tell you exactly what it will be like when you go. But the ones of us that have walked that path with God will tell you that it's the most incredible journey, the most incredible thing you'll ever experience. And it's not just about getting to a destination. It is more about the journey, because you start down this path of righteousness and it just doesn't stop. It just keeps going. There will be times when you slow down. There will be times when you sit down and take a break. But once you start down that path of righteousness, led by your shepherd, nothing in your life will ever be the same. What used to bother you isn't going to faze you anymore. The stress you once fought with daily becomes a distant memory. The feeling of emptiness and of constant hunger becomes something of the past as God leads you down the paths of righteousness. See, God doesn't restore you just to leave you there, and God doesn't restore you to send you back. God restores you to lead you forward. Yesterday's place of rest has become today's restoration, and today's restoration has become the beginning of the path of righteousness that God has prepared for you. Today, I want to challenge you to pray this. Dear God, my shepherd, lead me to rest and restore me. Set my feet on the path of righteousness. Lead me on, my good shepherd. I am not worthy of any of it, but I know your love for me leads you to bless me in ways that are beyond my understanding. Restore me, God. Lead me, and I will follow, good shepherd. See you tomorrow. Love you guys.